Overwatch League free agency has officially begun, and some teams have not wasted any time. Here in episode 3 of the Offseason recap series, we're going to be highlighting everything that we have seen so far during the opening weekend of free agency, whether it be a signing, a release, or anything else we know of. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. To start off this recap, we simply have to talk about the Washington Justice, because they're making some moves. The big accomplishment is, of course, that they re-signed Decay. I had my concerns on whether or not they'd bring him back, but it would seem that their little playoff run together has left everybody in good spirits. This is huge if you're a fan of the Washington Justice. Having Decay back on board has solidified their DPS line and has given them something to play around next year. So long as both Tuba and Decay keep doing what we saw in Season 3, they should be a great duo. Decay had an MVP-like season here in Season 3, and Tuba just kept on getting better and better as the season progressed. These guys can pretty much cover everything by themselves. Decay can handle the hit skin, and Tuba can play projectile and Sombra. On paper, it's a nearly perfect duo. My one concern is that Tuba might not be able to play that well in a double hit skin meta outside of Tracer. The Justice should be looking at another hit scan player for any double hit scan metas that may come in the future. But Decay's not the only good news involving the Justice. They followed up with a major signing at the main tank position. The Washington Justice have won the MAG sweepstakes. We were all wondering where this rookie sensation out of Runaway would sign, and somehow the Justice convinced him to come to Washington. Supposedly Florida were also very interested in him. Him going to Florida made a ton of sense given that Yaki and Gangnam Jin were former teammates of his. The fact that the Justice were able to steal him away from that is impressive. It really makes you wonder what kind of pitch they threw at him as well as how much money they offered. Well done, Justice. Matt could end up being a massive pickup. If you don't know who this guy is, I highly recommend watching some Runaway gameplay involving him because he is legit. He's been the most talked about main tank in contenders for well over a year. I've been hyping him up for quite a bit now too, and for good reason. He has one of the highest ceilings we've ever seen from a main tank player in a long time. I would argue he has the highest potential we've seen out of a rookie main tank since Gushue. This man could be something special at the Overwatch League level. I just hope the Justice don't mess this up and this young rookie maintains a good mindset. I was very excited about Roar when he made his rookie debut, and he was a total flop. I have a bit more confidence that everything will work out though, because the Washington coaching staff is amazing. What a start to the offseason for the Washington Justice though. I know it's early, but the Justice are looking like one of the biggest winners of the offseason early on. Re-signing a certified superstar and picking up a rookie with massive potential is a fantastic beginning. Now they have to finish strong. If they want to avoid getting hyped up just to let everybody down yet again, then they need to acquire a reliable support line and a really good off-tank partner for MAG. Don't let us down, Justice. Keep up the momentum. The next major move on the agenda is the San Francisco Shock, who officially announced they are parting ways with Rascal. Now this is a very interesting development. We already knew that Rascal's contract was expiring, but it felt so unrealistic for him to actually leave the team. He's been a pivotal part of their success for 2 years, and he had such a good relationship with his teammates. While the Shock's DPS situation is not dead by any means, there is now a hole at their flex DPS position. Unless they intend to sign somebody else, Taya was going to be their guy. While his Genji is not bad, he was more known for his hit scan and his Ashe back in the day, so Krusty's going to have to whip him into shape. But if the Shock do end up picking somebody else up, then just ignore this. As for Rascal, I think it goes without saying that he's going to be a very attractive free agent if he decides to continue playing Overwatch. And I only say this because rumor has it that he is considering retirement. I don't know how likely this outcome is, but I thought I'd bring it up because it is a possibility. If Rascal decides to keep playing though, it goes without saying that he's been a top tier flex DPS for 2 years, and he could be an invaluable asset for just about any team. Now that he's a confirmed free agent, I think it's safe to say that he is at the top of the free agent big board if he's not retired. The Rascal bidding war is going to be insane if it does happen. Definitely one of the biggest storylines of the offseason, no question. But now I want to ask all of you down in the comment section, where do you think Rascal will sign if he keeps playing? He could easily fit in with a mixed or full Korean environment. There's so many teams who would give him a lot more playtime than the Shock did this year. If he were to keep playing, I could maybe see him going to the Justice, Gladiators, or the Fusion. Or how about the Toronto Defiant? They need a new roster, and I think it would be really cool to build around him. It could definitely happen. Speaking of the Toronto Defiant, let's talk about them, because they made a big-time acquisition at head coach by signing the former Fusion coach KDG. The first thing I'm going to say is that I really like this. It's perfect. Toronto desperately needed a reliable head coach, and KDG only had a few other options available to him. Good on Toronto for bringing him in. this is a great way to start the free agency period. He might be the guy to finally solve their 2-year-long coaching issue this franchise has been dealing with. The struggle might finally be over. However, just because they brought in KDG does not mean they're guaranteed to find success. They still need to build a team. KDG needs the right pieces. Could he maybe lure in a few players from the Fusion, or maybe some of the former Dynasty players he coached in Season 2? From the looks of it, Toronto want to go mixed again because, if you did not already know, they did re-sign Logix a couple of days ago. Luckily for Toronto, KDG already has experience working with Western players. I really do wonder who Toronto is going to sign though. I guess we'll find out soon enough. In other coaching news, the Atlanta Reign have parted ways with 3 people from their 2020 coaching staff. Kodak and Mentalist are free to explore new opportunities, and Silence has retired from Pro Overwatch altogether. Coaching was a painfully obvious issue for Atlanta in Season 3, so a fresh start would probably do them a lot of good. As of this recording, I'm not sure what is to come of head coach Seffi. Maybe they still have faith in him. I personally would start over completely, but he did find success with this team in Season 2, so maybe they believe it's worth giving him another shot. One other thing about Atlanta, if you did not catch the news from a couple of days ago, they officially parted ways with all of their players who hit free agency. Fire, Fried, Dogman, Erster, Pokebo, and Saucy will not be coming back to the Reign for another season. While they don't appear to be losing anything of major worth, it's a little sad to see Erster, Pokebo, and Dogman leave. In one way or another, they were all key figures on the Reign during Season 2. Again, none of them were really standout performers this year, so the Reign aren't losing anything major on paper. Erster and Pokebo in particular could have some good Overwatch left in them though, so it wouldn't be a surprise to me at least if some of the other teams in the league gave them a shot. As for Atlanta, they freed up a large amount of roster space. Given how disappointing they were last year, you should expect them to try and make some big moves to try and fill up the holes. Let's see what they can come up with. One more minor thing before wrapping up the video is that the Chengdu Hunters have hired their former DPS player Yangxiaolong as the head coach of their new academy team. I'm not really sure what to expect from Yangxiaolong as a coach. From what I can tell, he has very minor coaching experience under his belt. This is going to be his first major coaching gig, but who knows? If he does a good enough job and the Chengdu Academy team really pops off in contenders, then perhaps the Hunters will promote him to their coaching staff at some point down the road. It's cool to see Yangxiaolong back. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. And with that said, that's going to wrap up episode 3 of the Overwatch League Offseason News Recap Season 4 edition. I know this weekend was kind of light, but that was to be expected because, first off, free agency just began. You can't really expect every team to just rush in there and get stuff done immediately. But also, you have to keep in mind that the weekends are usually pretty dry with off-season news for the most part. Some stuff may end up dropping right after I make this video, and if that is the case, I'll make sure to keep you updated with some pinned comments down below. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss out on any of my future Overwatch League news content. And tell me what you're thinking about all of this down in the comment section. And as always, thanks so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate your support. And until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.